Well, what we have seen in this COP is the growth of African presence, both at national and subnational level, but also among the CSOs. Many years ago, when we started to come to COP, there was a very little African presence. We begged people to come to COP from Africa. And when you go to COP, you barely see any activity in African Pavilion, and many of the countries in Africa don't even have much presence. Over the years, we have seen a growth of African delegation and African presence in COP. It started about 4 or 5 years ago, but it has grown steadily. Now you see delegation from states, from national level and CSO trooping into COP. But I still think that there is a need to translate this physical presence to material, tangible presence in terms of bringing down policies and finance that will help Africa to make a transition. We have seen a growth in the role that Africa plays, even in the negotiation, from a point of low activity and impact to a point of high impact from the AGN, which was reflected in the role that the AGN played in the adaptation goal. UNECA and ACPC have also been supplying heavy analytical firepower to help African leaders to gain an understanding of how they can negotiate, for example, in the issue of critical mineral, in the issue of trade, and a range of other areas. And I worry sometimes that our leaders, political leaders, are not drawing enough from the analysis that have been done by the ECA, by UNECA, by the ACPC to firm their position. And this creates a disconnect where they are always rehearsing and repeating the same old things they have said without really understanding how things have moved and how they can make new arguments with new understanding and new facts and analysis in order to strengthen their position. So we need to be much better at preparing for COP before COP. When you come to COP unprepared, you will not get a lot. But if you do your homework and prepare very hard, and you come to COP, you will have more impact. So I still think that we need to improve in the kind of space that we give ourselves to show that we have grown. The space is so little and so hidden. We need bigger space. You see that only just Ethiopia has a very big Ethiopian space. We should have a big African space like that to reflect the fact that heads of states are coming ministers and state governors. And two, we need to prepare hard before we come to COP. And be very focused on striking deals that will make Africa grow. For example, the loss and damage fund have been signed, but there hasn't been an understanding of how much of this money is going to come to Africa. There has been limited mention of adaptation in the GST, and Africans' position in the agreement still remains very tenuous. Africa has not attracted as much climate finance as it ought to, whether it's in the GCF or other climate finance. We need a bit more strategic position in order to gain from this kind of negotiations for Africa.